No more. Because I told him.
I know, like,
I know
whenever you're ready,
utilities
yeah,
have
you paid Counselor Ross. The Bella thing, it was paid. It was.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay.
I thought I did, but I wasn't sure.
I found the statute that
Oh,
you have to
this
do
is
that
23.
when-
This is the 24 version, that's why.
Okay, then I'll leave that.
Yeah.
She wants
Yeah, they.
Oh.
17 years. And it was changing.
But I really look forward to this summer.
So I said, no. And that's what I said, I want more information.
I'll look for it.
I didn't
And we have paid an extra 17. So it's but I'm not sure.
Okay, so then maybe we should table it.
I think we have to have more people
Okay.
to check the report.
Yeah. Where is it? 8.5.
All right, I'll call this meeting to order. First up will be roll call.
Councilor Ross? Councilor Jeffrey? Mayor Levine? Here. Councilor Levine? Here. Councilor Thronson?
Here.
All right, next up, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up, consent agenda. We have any discussion?
I have a few things, I had written them down, and I didn't get a chance to talk to Beth, but anyhow, I'm gonna go down, on the consent agenda, it's asked me number 81, not 18. In the minutes. And then appearances, the first one is Alan Johnson, and it's ALAM. And then, it's Bolton, and that is in the new business, Beth, and it's BOLTON. And then this is up to the full council. I wasn't sure if we wanted to put seasonal worker for Gage Wavago, or isn't that necessary? Because we have the two different ones for rink attendant.
Is it in the resolution?
I think you put it in that, I think it was, so just leave it as is.
I think that would be fine.
Okay, as long as it's in the resolution.
As
then
long
we're
as
good.
it's, yeah.
Okay, and then, it's back the same under motion with Jivry and the sick and safe earned, it's number 81 for Ask Me, not 18. And then I had also talked to Brian a little bit before the meeting, when Tom Lumsack came and had an appearance again for a second time, I would like to see that, something in the minutes that he had come and explained to the council what he was looking for, that he showed an appearance is what I'm getting, instead of just leaving it without, he made an appearance, so I think we should have that in there somehow, that Tom Lumsack appeared for American Legion, da-da-da. But those were the changes that I had. Other than that, I don't know what anyone else really, so. And then in the, let's see, the reviews, Mike Playstead had requested for it to be an open. Does anyone else remember that? Okay.
Yeah, he did.
So we have to put that at 4:15, the meeting was open for review, and then closed at 4:30 for Brody right, like that. Other than that, I'm sorry. But then for the consent agenda for this one, also, we have to change the claims for the city to 24,374.55. Cause on the agenda, we have it at 42,974.55.
Correct.
Okay. Do you want that?
Okay, POC, right?
These are city, yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Anyone else have anything? Okay. Is there a motion? Nope. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with recommended changes.
No support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, number 6, appearances. We'll have a phone conversation with Hannah Anderson from CTC.
This might take a while, and he's got to leave at 5:20. Would you like to wait with calling her and go right to Attorney Lindsay?
Yeah.
I'm good either way, Mayor.
Okay. We'll move on and we'll skip 6 and we'll come back to it. We'll go to 7, unfinished business. Update on East Itasca Joint Sewer Board letter.
Thank you, Mayor. I have received email confirmation that the sewer board has acknowledged receipt of that letter. I think the letter was initially authorized at the council's December 13th meeting. It went out on the 15th, and then I followed up a couple of times, and we were able to confirm that the letter has been received by the sewer board. So we're waiting for response.
Okay, 7.2, update on Glacier Park ground lease with City of Keewatin attorney. Brian Lindsay.
Thank you, Mayor. So I did create a sublease agreement, which would technically be the document between the city and the folks that hold the leases on that Glacier Park property. And there's a copy of that in the packet for the council's review and comment. I can let the council know. I've also been in contact with Mr. Walto from Glacier. I forwarded a copy of this document to them just so that they can start reviewing it, so we're that much further ahead as we make any changes and tweaks that we may want at this level. And then once that form is approved, we can use that form to get all of our leases renewed and put back into place. So I do apologize for the form that's created that's in the packet. Those sublease agreements get a little bit confusing because it uses some parlance and some terms that we normally don't use, and they get very clunky, but technically it's the appropriate form.
Question?
Yes, Susan?
On number 3 with the rent and terms, can we have for this year only a condition to, because once it's approved, they can't do January already. So could we put February in?
We could.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they're gonna question that. But then right after that, like in 25 and 26, they have to be current in January.
Correct, and what we could do is we could just set the yearly rate, and then we could just, as everybody comes in, because there's gonna be a little bit of background, we have to make sure that everybody's current on obligations to the city, taxes, those sorts of things, before entering into the new leases. And so we could just have a short addendum or memorandum on the top that indicates that, you know, whether we're gonna prorate for those months or whether we indicate, look, you have possession for this whole year, so we'll collect the payment for the whole year. And either we can make accommodations for that, but absolutely we can make some adjustment in that number 3 to acknowledge that they weren't commenced or signed on January 1st.
But I thought it looked good, for as much as I understood.
I had a question. So default on payment,
Mhm.
what if they don't pay them? It's 30 days or 14 days, it looks like.
Correct, and the 14 days, the 14-day default period is to declare them in default. It doesn't necessarily mean that after 14 days, we would be calling for them to move their property off. But if the city sends a demand for payment and the payments remain unpaid for 14 days, as a technical matter, what that does is it creates a holdover tenancy because it allows the city to declare the lease terminated and canceled of no further effect. So after that 14 days, they couldn't come in and say, well, we're gonna pay and get our rights back.
Okay.
So it would put the ball in the city's court, so to speak, a little bit earlier and kind of give some leverage to try and encourage folks to stay current on the payment obligations to the city.
And someone will explain all this to them because when they sign the leases.
Yeah, we can, the other thing that I could do is put together a short, almost like a term sheet that explains in more plain language.
Yeah.
What exactly is needed, because I do acknowledge that, when you start using sub-landlord and subtenant, and those things aren't terms that we often hear, and they get a little bit clunky and cumbersome.
And then we have to set the rate then?
Correct.
And a security deposit?
Yeah. And then is this continuing from 2014 on that date at the top, or how is that?
Oh, no, that's a typo.
Oh, okay.
That's my typo.
Okay. Thank you. I guess I think they should all be consistent and everyone pay the same fee. Well, it's a
I
yearly.
think I would like to see that too,
Mhm.
you know, just
Yeah, one fee.
flat fee for everybody.
I mean, 300 doesn't seem,
That seems
does it
high.
seem high?
I think
a
it
little bit
seems,
high,
yeah.
200? 250? I don't know.
Well, how I'm trying to figure it is the average person and what they receive, as the rest of us that live in town pay for sewer, water, garbage, plowing, da. And I would not think that $200 is out of range. You know, that's how I'm trying to understand, to be fair to everybody, because some of them, their city of Keewatin is $11.12. But then you have some that are 200. So that's why it's really hard to, and I understand it's just, sorry, you have a bigger lot. It's the way it works. You have more pole barns. I mean, I don't know how else we can look at it, but I'm good with 200. I think to start and see how these 3 years, 4 years go.
Yeah, on this chart, that yearly lease, it goes from 58.50 to 242.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 242 is the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason why these people aren't here to discuss this with us? Do we not invite them, or do we have to send them a letter so they can come in and discuss it? Or do we just make this decision and they stand by it? They don't get tough.
So, the legal answer, Mayor, is there's no requirement for a public hearing on this. The council is within its right to, to put this off to another meeting or set a special meeting or a work session and specifically invite those individuals who are affected and who are leasing these parcels or properties to come in and voice their opinion. So either way works.
So what do you want to do, council?
200?
I think 200. And then what would the deposit be?
And I'm not understanding, can I get more explanation on deposit? Why we're doing
Yeah, I
security?
don't understand how you
And I included this as a standard term in a land lease.
Oh,
But there's no requirement that we have a security deposit. And to be completely honest, I wasn't aware whether we had collected security deposits in the past or have them on file. And so I just kind of held that open so we could have it as a talking point or conversation piece. It's easier to eliminate, and that's typically when I draft, I try to include as much as I can because it's easier to delete it out than it is to add it in after the fact.
I'm good with eliminating it, that's just
Okay.
my opinion.
Same.
That's
I
fine.
agree.
Okay.
So 200.
I'm in favor.
I think so.
I'll make a motion to set the lease fee at $200 per year, beginning January 1st, 2024.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Councilor Jury, can you give Tanya? Thank you for getting it.
You want to go to CPC? You want
What else
to,
did we
do
have?
that?
Stay with Brian. Yeah.
City Brian? Okay, we'll slide down to new business.
Oh, the. Kate Porter.
Discuss Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
So this was, thank you, Mayor, this was a conversation that we had kind of started back as the Juneteenth holiday was rolled out by the state of Minnesota. So the rule is that we're required, we're not allowed to do on those designated federal holidays, we're not allowed to conduct any business. Generally, this results in closures. I think the important part is just to make sure that we have a consistent practice for our holidays that's in line with the state law. So, at this point, there's a couple of things that we could do. First thing we could do is just kind of authorize the staff to go and get a memorandum of understanding together with the local AFSCME group that's in compliance with the law, return that MOU to the council for a final vote and approval. But we just want to make sure that we stay in bounds with what the law requires. So.
Okay. I'll make a motion to have the clerk draft or you either.
I could draft an MOU and I'll forward it to Clerk Mackey, so the two of us will work on it and have a final policy. The other thing we can do then, because this affects terms and conditions of employment, we'll loop in Ms. Stahl and the union to make sure that we're all on the same page, so that by making an approval, we can feel more confident that it's a final approval and that everybody's on board and it closes the issue out.
Okay. And so actually Monday is Martin Luther King, so we'd have to approve that as the legal holiday and include it in the contract as an MOU. And then Juneteenth as well.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So I'll make that motion to approve the attorney and the city clerk to develop an MOU regarding Martin Luther King and Juneteenth as a legal holiday for AFSCME Union.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion carries. All right, we'll go back up to unfinished business, 7.4. And
Up to appearances.
we'll there.
Just, we don't have to do anything with this otherwise. So we have, oh, that was fees, okay.
So to remind the council that the telephone service was on your last agenda, and Hannah Anderson from CTC was scheduled to come and make an appearance, but something has came up. So she has allowed me to call her with any questions that you have. In your packet is the same information that you had last week. I think some of the questions were the internet to the shop, the cost of the telephone up front, if we were to go with new telephones. And then the duration of the contract, there was a 3-year and the 5-year contract. So if it please the council, I'll give Hannah a call right now. You have to put it on speakerphone in order for the dial to go. It's crazy. Hi, Hannah. This is Beth and the City of Keewatin Council from City of Keewatin. I'm going to put you on speakerphone and then let the Mayor Levine take it from here, okay? Thank you. Okay.
Anna, we have you on the phone here at the council meeting and we have some questions to ask you on this contract. So, who's up first with the questions? Susan?
Okay, Hannah, I have a question on the 3-year contract. And on that 3-year contract, you have the sewer plant and the fire hall both in for internet service at $300 for both of them. What is the reason for that?
The internet service is only at the city hall and the city shop.
But it's listed on
So
here.
at the city hall, it's $200, and at the city shop, it is $150.
It's listed on here on the 3-year contract and it's $1,000.70. So those shouldn't be on this then, is what you're saying?
Which document are you referencing where it's 1,000?
So I am under document 67893B1D. Do you want those numbers?
Is this an old contract?
Would it be, are you looking at a member service renewal? Should say that in the top right-hand corner.
Pardon me?
Is this an old contract? Is
The
this the
original contract,
initial
yep.
contract? So
Mhm.
we're not following, this is what we have now.
Yes.
So we're looking at a 5-year, not a 3-year.
You get a better deal with your 5-year contract, correct? Hannah?
Yes.
Okay. And the city
Yes.
currently,
If you must be looking at your original agreement from when you first signed up with CTC.
they have the
Yes.
original agreement
Yes.
in their packet and the 5-year agreement in the packet.
So are we looking at extending the
I
3-year?
think you must be looking at, we originally proposed internet service to more city buildings.
Right. We proposed it,
Right.
right. We proposed it to the fire hall and then we chose not to have it there. And we proposed it to the sewer plant and that was not capable. We couldn't have it there.
So this is just.
So for the proposal for the 5-year contract, the purpose that it's extended from a 3-year contract is you provide a better service when it's for 5 years. Did the telephones have anything to do with that? Hannah?
Not necessarily better service, it's still the same service. You just receive more monthly discounts by going with the 5-year. But if you're more comfortable with the 3-year and are okay with the price difference, then it's whatever you're most comfortable with.
Okay. And then the upfront fee to purchase the telephones?
The upfront fee would be
It's a
just for
one-time.
the programming and the install and the on-site in-person training.
Okay. And then any time that the city has a problem with the telephones, we call you and you come out for free, or how does that work?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so if you just follow the same process you do today. Call in with a trouble. But the benefit of being a hosted voice customer with CTC is that we will cover the truck roll. If a phone goes bad or gets broken some way, we will replace it, and there's no charge for that.
Okay. And then another thing for the council to keep in mind is our IT person, Roger. He works with CTC. They've been in communication. And to bring it up to code for the firewall that you guys have already approved for the League of Minnesota Cities for our computers, CTC would actually be doing a little bit of work on a switch. Is that correct, Hannah?
Yes, that's correct.
And it was more economical to have you guys do it than to have Roger do it. So does the council have additional questions?
Yes, we've been working with Roger pretty closely, and he's pretty excited for us to take that on for him.
So everybody gets new phones?
In your proposal, the proposal is for everyone to get updated telephones. The police department, the clerk's office, the street department, the library, I don't think was included in there, was it? When your tech came here?
Yes, the library is included.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says cordless. You have a cordless?
And the telephones are cordless?
For the library, that's what they chose, yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So are you able to transfer calls to the library on that, from the city hall to their phone then?
Hannah will be able to transfer from the city hall to the library or to the police
Okay.
station.
Or street department or wherever? Okay.
And there's a built-in answering machine, correct? Hannah?
Yeah, we can set up a greeting as well. If you wanted to say, thank you for calling the city of Keewatin, please press 1 for the city clerk, please press 2 for the library. We can even set it up that way.
Okay. Currently, when you call in on one line, the other line, if we're on that, it just stays busy and it doesn't roll over, and then people think we're off. Yeah.
Okay, and then I just had a question on the internet.
Okay.
So it says 100M fiber. Okay, that's 200, and then it says 60M/5 partner internet 150. What's the difference?
Hannah, Counselor Levine is asking the difference in the internet fees types.
Yes, so at the city hall, it's CTC's internet, or 100 meg upload and download with fiber.
Yeah.
For the city shop, we actually partnered with MediaCom to be able to provide you with a 60 meg by 5 meg connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where the difference in pricing is.
Okay.
And in order for them to have phones, they have to have the internet.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay. And then what is the cost of the phones? Or is that built into the monthly payment?
That is built into the monthly.
Okay. And so, I can't read this very well, but is it $785.26 or per month?
735.
Yeah, so on the 5-year, it's $747.26 per month.
Okay.
And then on the 3-year, it's $769.92. And then that is including your internet services and everything that you have with CTC today.
And the phones. Why does it say one-time upfront cost for phones on here?
Because there is a one-time upfront cost
Yeah,
for phones.
that covers the programming of the phone and the install and the training.
So that's not included in the total, or it is?
Hannah, that one-time fee is not included in your $747.26, correct?
Correct. Yep, that would just be a one-time upfront fee.
Of?
Yes, how much is that?
On the 3-year, it'd be $450. On the 5-year, it is $350.
For all the phones or per phone?
That would be total for
Okay,
all of the
for
phones.
all of them. Okay. Okay.
No, I mean, Tanya, or Counselor Mars was just, so the headset part, that's included, I'm just looking to make sure that the headset part is included, is that a one-time fee too? For the
Yes,
headsets?
and then you'll own the headset.
Okay, so everything is, okay.
Mary Lee, do you have any more questions for her?
No, I don't.
Thank you so much, Hannah, for letting us call you at home, and enjoy your evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, thank you all so much. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you being so accommodating.
Okay, have a great day. Bye.
Yes, you as well. Bye-bye.
I'm not really in favor of a 5-year contract. I'm in favor of a 3. I mean, from 769 to 746. That just seems like a long time. If something else would to come up that wouldn't maybe be as much, where you have to have all this internet. I'm not in favor of a 5-year contract. So that's just me.
Let's see here.
Then you're gonna pay more on the phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She said
$100.
$769. Well, $100 for the one-time fee. And, then,
Be $100 difference.
yeah. And then, 769, well, 770 for 3 years and 746 for a 5-year. I mean, it's not a huge difference
That's about $13.25
for
for the
13.
5 years. Over 5 years that we'd save by going.
But we don't know
5
that
versus
because we don't know if another carrier would come in. That's where I'm kind of unsure if we would find another company that wouldn't be as much.
Well,
So we went through that, remember?
Okay.
And the obstacle that we had there was the ability to keep our own telephone numbers. We could go with a different service, but they're gonna change all your telephone numbers. And I think there was just one other service, if I recall. And then the other item is, I think, because it's fiber optics, we have to have internet in order to have telephone.
That does make sense, fiber optic and
So-
phone.
Trying to get around that would be difficult.
right. And I think with MediaCom, it was very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And same with the internet.
Yes, and we were on a residential internet.
Which is why it was so cheap for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll just kind of throw this out there, and I'm flexible either way, but the other part is if our internet techie person is working with this company, there's something to be said on the back end about saving money when they communicate the same language and you're used to working with a company. Those relationships are important, but I also understand what you're saying too, Susan. I mean, we don't know what's gonna come, but knowing that we live in Keewatin and the options are limited, or, I mean, we really don't have any other options.
Especially with the phones.
No,
There's
and,
no other.
Does Paul Bunyan do phones? I mean, we've been on waiting for Paul Bunyan for
Yeah.
3 years now, so I mean, it's nothing, yeah.
but that would really be the only other option that would come potentially even in the next few years would be public. And who knows what that would look like. I just think when you start piecemealing people together that consult on city stuff, it gets to be difficult and you end up costing more money.
I don't know, I'm okay with the 5-year, I guess. I don't think we'll have too much changing within the 2 years of, and I'm sure, is there a clause in here, you can always cancel within so many days? I'm sure. If there's there usually is some type of cancellation fee.
Yeah, there was something that I didn't highlight it. Like you said, it's the same,
Yeah.
contract that we would have.
And I think it works out good too with the built-in answering machine. Each person can have their own setup on there. You can transfer calls. If something comes into the office for the public works department, you can transfer it to the shop or wherever, or cell phones, they can set up cell phones too. So.
And it's,
Or police department.
It's just better when it's more functional for the employees.
Mhm.
It's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
And there's like busy. I've called down here and it's been busy.
Yeah.
And I know they don't have the phone off the hook.
Yeah.
It's calling constantly.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the CTC contract for 5 years at a monthly rate of $747.26 and the one-time phone charge of $350.
No support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No,
Motion carried.
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
Counselor Jibber. Okay, roll call. Tanya?
Yes.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mayor Levine?
Yes.
Counselor Levine?
yes.
Counselor Thompson?
no.
Okay, very good.
Okay, next up, 7.5, adopt resolution for Keewatin Police Department to purchase 3 tasers from Axon Enterprises Incorporated.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Okay, go ahead.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, next up is adopt a resolution on the new business to declare influent and effluent pumps from the sewer plant as surplus, so we can sell.
I'll make a motion for that resolution.
I'll support it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.2, discuss purchase of scissor lift. Eric?
This came up with that visit from OSHA we got, where we were in violation for not inspecting the overhead crane. It had never come up before this. There has never been inspections on that crane. There's no way to get up there and inspect it. You can't do it off of the ladder. You can't swing the line truck around in there. It's too small to have that line truck swing around. I don't know what to tell you. We rent one or we buy a used one. This thing could be used for many other things as well. I know we've talked about, maintaining buildings. The shop, we were looking at just renting one to paint the inside. It's a tall building. How do you do it? You can't do it without ladders. So.
Could you give me some heights? That's what I'm kind of curious, Eric, like the heights of the inside of the garage, or like to do the windows, if we chose, it could do the windows here, fire hall, if there was,
Light bulbs in the fire hall.
oh,
Yep.
how high are these buildings? That's why I'm not sure what the height would be.
Ours is about a 20-foot wall, so these 2 lifts, almost 19 feet, that's the height of the platform that we stand on. So you don't have to obviously go all the way up, but there's a possibility we could use them on the outside as long as there's a hard surface. Either that, or we get one that is all-terrain, kind of if you wanted to do the city garage or the fire department that one side is grass, you can't run these scissor lifts off pavement. They'll just stay.
Off pavement you can?
They have to stay on pavement or flooring.
Okay,
You can't go up in the yard. If
So
you
is
look
that
at
the-
Pictures of them, you see the little wheels they have.
well, that's what I was wondering, the 19 and the 20, right? Have small wheels.
32.19, and then we had a price for one of 31.20 as well. That one has a little bit bigger wheels on it. It's a year newer, I think. or no, that one there, the 3220, we did include the range of the price, that's what's giving $26,000.
Yeah,
I have
don't
a
know
question,
if
Mayor.
that's good. Well, no, that's not
Well,
true.
I got a question.
we did a little, background check on this. And we called MMUA
Yeah,
and they told us that, the daily inspection is visual inspection. There's no need for
of the hook
a
and
scissor lift. You
cables.
can run it all the way over to the mezzanine and you can visually, check it from there. And, you can also run it down to the floor for the hookup and all that. The annual inspection needs to be performed by a qualified person anyway. So if they did come to your place, then they could use your lift or they'll bring their own, whichever, but you need to do that once a year. The rest of the time is visual inspection of yourself.
Did you look
It's
at
part
the report? Because that's a monthly.
Yeah, this is what we got from MMUA.
The rails, so I look at the OSHA report.
Yeah,
Mayor,
yes.
yeah, I did some checking on that too, and you do have to be certified in order to do inspections. I know RMS does them,
Perfect.
so I'm not sure what the fee is, but they could come and do an
would
inspection.
MMUA do that?
I don't think so.
I think they used to do it for us. They used to inspect our crane. But, I think all it was at that time was they just did an inspection on it, and we wrote it in the file and put it in there. It wasn't, I don't know if they have a qualified person on their staff or not. Otherwise, we're gonna have to hire somebody once a year.
Once a year.
Well,
It should be done once a
We used
year.
to do it with the line truck, is what Calvin said.
Yeah, we did, but it's really hard. There's too much-
Last year, no. When the line truck got inspected,
Right,
they also inspected the overhead crane.
yes.
And for whatever reason, last year that didn't happen, and when OSHA shows up. But there was something in that report from OSHA that said we had to inspect those rails for cracks, and,
Yeah.
that's what I would be looking at, conducting the MMUA, but you've got to satisfy OSHA, not the MMUA.
Right. I think we should have, since it's never, or whatever been done, we should get a quote from RMS. I'd call them and
Perfect.
have them see what it costs and have them come and do it.
I'd rather not be responsible
Right.
for saying it's good and then have an issue.
Right, exactly, yeah.
As far as one of these machines, the city could use one, for many uses, but I think we missed out on that other one.
Yeah,
You know,
these ones
A,
are,
a good deal may come by and we'll have to jump on it if it does, because like you said, if you use it, changing light bulbs is a big deal down there. I know they're way the heck up there. You're safe, there's other uses for one, but what you need to do is find them from like a private guy that buys
these
it.
are priced the same. That one was $5,900.
Is that what you want it for?
Yes. This one was $67.50, and that was delivered.
Yeah.
They would bring it in.
How about
So-
if we have a neighboring city that has one that would borrow it to us or
If they have a way of hauling
renting? Yeah,
What was the cost of that one?
yeah, I don't think it's too much.
it. I didn't even check on that.
I guess at this time, I'm not in favor of purchasing one. right now.
That's fine. I'm just
I
bringing it
just
up
double,
because
get a hold of RMS and get that.
at this point,
inspection.
We're still not in compliance with answering for that OSHA.
Can we get a copy of that OSHA?
I would kind of like to have, if I were to purchase one, would you rather have one that you can use outside?
Okay.
Absolutely, but I'm looking at the price of it.
I
and
know,
I'm
they're a
like,
lot higher, but
that ain't, I mean, this one was, like I say, the high sixes. And, yeah, at 20,000 for an 03, 26,000. I know that's not even what we're talking about, 'cause that won't happen. But painting buildings, if you can get 2 walls, 3 walls in the shop with this, because there's asphalt on the backside.
Yeah.
Very important, yes. In the back, get 2 walls there. So then you'd have to rent a machine for that. So, but no, I'm just worried about OSHA and them coming in and finding this again.
Okay. I'll make a motion to have the street supervisor contact RMS to conduct a inspection on the overhead crane for OSHA requirements.
And all support with a request to see a copy of the OSHA report, please.
Yeah.
Problem.
Just for future discussion.
Right.
I'll amend my motion to add that.
That's what we gotta be careful, because they'll come and find us again.
Yeah. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Eric.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thanks.
8.3, discuss hiring casual laborers. Might stay up here. Discuss hiring casual laborers for street parking.
Mayor?
Pam?
I have a recommendation.
Okay,
How about if we obtain applications and start an eligibility list? Because I don't think right now we need to hire any. That's just my opinion. We have 4 employees and we don't have a lot of snow. There's not a lot of overtime needed, so
You want us to
I
flood
think-
the rink and that stuff then? I don't know what's going on with the skating.
yeah, I don't know where that's at. I was gonna ask about that too. But
Thought there were-
I guess I would just prefer to have an eligibility list and collect some apps and then decide where we are in a couple weeks if we're. That's just my take.
Do we have any
Did we get
applications
it?
now?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I say who they are? Or?
Just,
1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
So can I ask a question with hopefully staying on topic?
Mhm.
What happened to our previous person that was flooding the rink for the last 20 years?
He put in his application, and because the position was a seasonal rink employee and not a casual labor, the rate for the casual labor increased, but the rink stayed at 15. Therefore, he withdrew his application. So he was specifically hired to work at the rink and not as a casual labor under Eric to do snow shoveling and such.
Okay.
So that is why he stayed at that.
Okay.
But he withdrew we went over it and, yeah.
As far as the rink, I guess, we didn't, because of weather, we tried to get it done, by Christmas.
We
No, we're past Christmas.
It's there
By
now.
the time you get it flooded, I was gonna say, by the time you get it flooded, you're only gonna get 4, maybe 5 weeks out of it before we,
Lucky to get a month, yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if it's worth even pursuing it.
It'll be the first time in history that Keewatin hasn't had a skating rink up still open.
I would rather see them flood it. We've got cold
Me too.
weather coming.
Mm-hmm. I think
I'm
so.
not willing to give up stuff like that for our kids. I'm sorry.
No, I think it needs to get
I,
done as
we
well.
need to hire someone and get someone down there flooding it. And right now, they would be skating down there. End of story. Because we have, this cold weather.
When you see their footprints down there, they're checking on it. I mean, some
Did
of
we
them-
not hire Gage Waldbegel
We did?
as a casual labor, or as
No,
a
rink.
seasonal rink?
And he never came.
No, we
We
haven't.
haven't called him.
He's a rink attendant though.
Right.
That's not a rink, flutter. There's difference, right?
Well, I think we need to have a job description
Could
then
have them
for
do
rink
both.
attendants.
Yeah.
Why can't they?
At least should
Right,
be doing the work.
Absolutely.
exactly. Shoveling and
What's the
everything.
difference?
What are you looking
Yeah.
at to get the rink?
They don't have to be specific.
Start spraying.
It's
but
a
again,
I don't
season.
know how all these things change.
Oh,
I
it'll
don't
take
either.
to get it nice, if they're down there and they can for sure get
So-
3 floods in a day.
Yeah.
That's what Mike was
I
getting
have a
at.
question.
Yeah.
Mayor,
He's doing a great job,
Yeah.
and,
wasn't he
I'm gonna
hired last
say
meeting?
between a week and 2.
Gage, why hasn't he been called then?
With this
Because we
cold
don't
weather.
have, he's a rink attendant. He wasn't the.
Oh,
rink
gotcha.
If
Okay.
you had it where we're starting to
We're
build
gonna do
up
that job description.
fast, once you get it so that
$18 an
it's
hour to
it's
flood the rink.
covered, then it starts going
Are
fast.
we doing
Well,
casual?
I think
labor
where we're at right
flooding, or
now,
are we
just so
doing-
everybody's on the same
Okay,
page,
they
because I
can-
hear that there's lots of conversation happening. Before, we didn't do the rink because we were having 40-degree weather. It was a waste of money. But I think with the next month, we have, is that what you're
Correct.
gauge
Mhm.
into it?
Yes,
So, I mean, it's a month, but it's a month. We might go, it's January, what's the date today, 10th? So the last couple of years, just kind of keeping tabs on it, we lose our ice by the end of February, generally speaking, the last few years, it's a much. But the kids don't have anything else to do. They have nothing else to do in town. They made a makeshift, I think you guys pushed snow over it.
Can't have that, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, they don't have any, they got.
Snow fort in our snowbank, our piles, you know?
okay, so I guess
Scary.
I have a question. As long as we're hiring a seasonal employee, whether they're a rink attendant or flooding the rink, I think we need to get a job description for these seasonal winter people,
If they
and
shovel down there,
they should be shoveling, they could be flooding, they could be doing it. They're a seasonal.
and can we do a day shift and an afternoon shift?
I guess I would
Because we get a lot
consider
of
doing
flooding
the flooding done, or getting that done, you know, if you guys can do one and then they come and do another one, or however it's gonna work. I think we need to go that route.
It'll get done a lot faster.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you can get it
Okay.
done in less than.
So I'll make a motion that we contact the Gage Waldigal, who was hired at the last meeting, to come in and start flooding as soon as he can.
I'll support.
How are we doing with the other ones? Like, I thought Mike would be coming back right after this meeting. Is that possible?
And what is he gonna be doing?
First of all, that thing, get busy on that rink.
Okay,
But shoveling, he keeps that shop nice and clean and orderly. He doesn't stop. He is a very good worker, you know. So, I mean, we've been busy in that shop getting equipment going, and now there's snow, so we've been busy with that. We gotta start hauling snow now. We got more snow coming. TV says 4 inches
Who's gonna work afternoon shift then? You're gonna put,
down at the rink.
yeah,
I would probably gauge. you know.
has he done it before, so he knows what to do?
Well, it won't take long. I'll always have him spend a day or two with Mike.
Mike, there you go, that's what I'm getting at.
Mike's got it down pat.
Yeah.
He's a good employee. I wish we could hire him full time. You know, but whatever.
So Mike was hired before, and
Yeah,
they're the same type of position?
He came
No.
close
No,
to
he doesn't.
59
It's not like
shifts
Yes,
last year.
$15 and $18.
but-
So, I don't know, I guess my concerns are, we've had almost $500 in shop hours in a month. I know I brought this up before. In 1 month, that's a lot of shop time. I guess I'm not sure what's going on there, that everyone's writing down shop.
I'm gonna come and look.
So
Come
it's,
and let me show you.
okay, I would love to get down there,
Come
but
on down.
hard for me to get off work, but
We've
Just
got
go
a
at
lot of
7.
work done.
just go at
Before you.
Yeah, before I go.
So we're
Um,
getting a lot of old
Yeah.
stuff.
And I
Everything's
just-
finally running now.
And I don't want, if we're gonna hire somebody, I don't think they need to work every single day and burn up their 67 shifts or 57 or 59, whatever, in 3 months.
If I don't have work for them, I'll send them home. I'm busy.
Because if they work an hour, it's
A shift.
a shift. If they
Right.
work 8, it's a
I'm not
shift,
gonna
so.
waste their shifts
All
for
right.
1 hour. I'll just tell them not to come in.
And I'm just, I mean, for them to have to flood the rink at $18 an hour, when we have people that are hired as seasonals that can do it for 15, that's a big difference. I just kind of want to keep an eye on the budget and make sure we're not abusing it, because summer's going to come and then there's other things.
What
And
was the budget last year? I never even heard.
Yeah, I wanna get a copy.
yeah, we
of it,
haven't
too.
got that narrowed down yet.
We should be
Quite a
under
bit.
that.
We
We
should
should be way under that.
Yes.
I would hope.
So.
I mean, it's not like we didn't make an effort to get it done. We tried.
But when it's cold like this, you're gonna be able to get it done
Yeah.
Well,
pretty
you'll
quick,
get
I
it done
think.
now, if it
Well,
stays
yeah.
cold, you might get it done, and a week later, you might have the same issue, but we gotta try.
I think we're in the winter now. It just came a month late,
Yeah,
which that seems to be the trend. These seasons seem to be moving later and later. Think about it. I mean, last year was extreme.
Yeah.
It's a good.
That was
It's
bizarre.
a good thing to do it, it's a good thing,
Um,
because the kids will find something else to do, like you said, they're burrowing holes in maybe I'm scooping them up with the loader. Because they're gonna be playing in there, and they're gonna be out and around, and they need somewhere to go, so.
Very dangerous.
Well, if we could get a resolution then, and what do I need to do? Make a motion to have a resolution to hire a casual labor?
one? Or,
I thought you just wanted one for right now because you don't need, and Gage's already was approved.
Yep.
So that's two.
Seasonal, yeah.
Are we taking Mike back again, or no?
I guess it depends on who's in the pile.
No, I'll support bringing Mike back. He knows the job done, we're gonna get the rig done faster that way than putting some greenhorns on that I don't know.
Of all the guys, he helped fabricate that plow setup too.
Yeah,
It was handy. You
I
know,
understand.
And I guess it's as long as he's coming in and got that and maybe
Under
doing
control.
some, yeah, and then some other
we
winter
got him
stuff.
engaged, we could have that rig flooded and, a lot less.
I know it's early, but I would start thinking about getting stuff ready for spring. You never know.
We have our winter list, our spring list, and I got the
Okay.
files right on my desk, and you bet.
Okay.
That doesn't change.
Hi, Mike. And Nikki supported,
Yeah,
or to have the resolution drawn up, but that'll, you know.
Yeah, it's just adopt it, yeah.
you have that, Beth?
Yep, as casual labor.
Correct.
$18 an hour. On call as needed.
Yeah.
Up to 60 shoes.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
8.4, appoint Jewel Graves for library board for 3-year term ending December 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.5, discuss credit on public utilities bill for resident.
I'd like to table this for more information from the attorney. I'd like him to review on refunds. That's okay.
Yeah. I don't know, the rest of the council knows.
I need a motion for that.
what
I'll make
this
the
is
motion.
about.
I'll support it.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.6, appoint someone as wellhead manager 2024.
Okay, I have a question, Mayor. Do we need to do this annually? Can't we just appoint one person to take care of it and be done? Why is it always an annual appointment?
I think it's something to do with, you gotta have one, you should have one employee and one, somebody else. Is that all it works, Susan? or-
Well, it's a state thing, and I have gotten stuff from Chris Perthune. Did you run across?
I found the file. It's quite thick. I didn't get through to the.
Okay. Last year, there was something put in our minutes that Chris Perthune said we had to have it. I don't recall if it said annually or whatever. Do you remember anything from the minutes? So, I mean, I'll go on it again. You know what I mean? I'll do that just so we have someone. But I think the state needs to know who that person is. Because if there's a bad area, you know,
Spill or something.
yes,
Yeah.
they have to notify so it
Train
doesn't
going
get
through
by
town.
our
Could have a spill.
tower. There's something to that reasoning, and that's why the Minnesota Department of Health, Chris Perthune, is the one that had said that. You don't remember last year when we talked about it?
I do
Okay. Yeah, and I got an email from
I
them.
don't remember though.
Okay.
Do we have anybody that's on, from the city crew that's on this at all?
I don't think so.
Right now, we don't have anybody.
I think we appointed Eric last year, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. But you don't need a water
Are you
license or
willing to be
anything.
on it again, Eric?
Sure.
Do you need a water license for this position or not?
I don't think so. I don't think it helps, you know. I mean, it's. good
So it's
thing.
just,
Eric does have a
Okay.
water license,
It's
right?
to make sure where all of the tanks are in town for the bad, the gas station and the fuel oil and the fuel oil down there.
oh, I see.
It's that
Okay.
kind of stuff, so it doesn't get by our potted water.
Sewer, and the next
Gotcha.
year we'll do the other one,
Okay.
so they both have both licenses, I'd like to see, and they're
Yeah.
both willing to do it.
We get those guys involved in it.
Get
Down the
them
line, but we gotta
Both
do this.
places, sewer and water.
Yeah,
Well, that's what they agreed to, so that's, yeah.
we'll work on that.
All right,
but for the
so
time
Well,
being,
we
let's
just
gotta-
need to
do
appoint.
it, yeah.
We'll just, Susan
You.
can put her name on there, you can be like back, you know.
Okay, it doesn't have to be
Is
Robin
there a reason
license.
it's not the public?
Okay,
I don't know if Rob.
okay.
I don't know.
However.
I don't know
think it was
anything
you and I
about
last
this.
I think it was.
So,
No, or
Rod,
me and you.
Rod, yes,
I think it was me and
Rod
you,
did
yeah.
not want to do it
Right.
because it's so much work
Yeah.
when you have to recertify yourself with the state. And, can we put this on hold and let's look into the
Yeah,
file then?
Sure.
let's do that.
Okay,
okay, I'll make a motion to, table to the next council meeting
and then go with that.
on the 24th.
Motion by Counselor Levine,
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.7, adopt resolution regarding guidelines for city council meetings and public meetings.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Um,
Motion carried. 8.8, adopt resolution designating the official city newspaper for 2024.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Discussion.
Any discussion, man? I just throw that right into me.
Okay, so we can do some cost saving here by not publishing our minutes. I don't know if that's something the council wants to do. If you're under, I'm sure
We have
you're
to-
over 1,000
Oh.
population or not. You can make the call whether you want to put them in the paper, or you can, if someone requests them, you can mail them, or you can have them on the website for availability. So you don't have to put them in the paper all the time. So
and
that's
Mayor,
an option.
Counselor Jivery, has spoken with some residents in town, so we now provide the minutes and the agendas right in the city clerk's office behind the front door.
And I will say after follow-up, of the new system that Clerk Mackey had put in, and just to follow up with residents to see if that was working. They were pleased to see that the paper was being used again too. So I think it's a matter of just streamlining communication and just saying this, because they were open to both. I think so if it's a cost-effective thing, the one thing that I always like just to be mindful of is that we have a lot of older residents in town that don't go on social media, they're not gonna be on YouTube, and they are our biggest followers for council meetings. And so, I do like the idea, but it's another task for you of either making them available, or if there was a mailing list that was created, and then they could just go out to people that way. I don't think the number would be substantial. I think we're looking at like 15, 20 people.
Has anyone come in to take the minutes since you've done that?
No, because they started, because there was an
Okay.
overlap with the paper. They wanted them, and then they were showing up in the paper, so they said, oh, we don't need them now.
Because I think they do the recap anyway,
Okay,
Yes.
the scenic, so
Mhm.
yeah.
putting the minutes is kind of redundant, but I don't know, just a cost saving measure, I'm just throwing it out there,
I know
so.
lots of elderly people, I like to look at them.
Do
Yeah,
they
they
get,
do like
do
the
they
paper.
subscribe though?
Yes.
There's a lot of people in town that get the paper, and I was shocked when we did
And
that.
then another thing is if we don't keep this, spend some money there, we're gonna lose that newspaper, we're gonna have one.
Yeah,
Then we'll be in Virginia paper, and we'll never see anything. That's just my opinion.
Well, it is, yeah.
It does publish in
You know, I
Hibbing,
look at
it
the
does
national-
publish in Hibbing.
I look at the national stuff that goes on at the council, it's just like, this.
I just threw it out there for discussion,
Yeah.
so when we're doing budget cuts next year, something to think about.
well, and I think.
'Cause I think it's like $200 a paper.
That's what I'm
For a
thinking,
minute.
so it's 400, you know.
$400 or $500 a
But
month.
that's, I'm good with it for
Yeah.
the elderly right now too.
Something about getting the paper and reading it from front to.
When you're having coffee in the morning.
I get it.
Okay, so we have a
I get the
motion.
I-
paper.
Oh,
I do.
Yeah, we did.
okay.
Motion carried.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Adopt the resolution for designation depository for 2024.
Support.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Appoint Fire Chief Mars as Emergency Management Rep for 2024.
motion,
Support, abstain.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Motion carried. Appoint Counselor as representative to the Fire Relief Association for 2024.
Oh, appoint Krista,
That was it last year.
but that's why if,
It's
okay,
fine. We go through this every January.
okay.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Appoint Counselor as acting mayor.
I'll make a motion to appoint Pam Levine, or
Second.
Counselor Levine.
Support, yeah,
I second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Appoint Tanya Morris as fire chief for 2024.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Amir, who supported that?
Krista,
Krista.
Carry on. 8.14.
8.14, appoint Billy Joe Fowler as the deputy clerk treasurer for 2024.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.15, approve Eric Sunquist as the recreation director for 2024.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.16, discuss, or no, I thought maybe we already did that. Do we have to pass a motion?
We already did.
Okay.
I'll just, as a reminder, just to let the staff know about this. Send them an email back.
Okay.
Or an update, I should say, not a reminder.
so it's staying the same though, am I wrong? It's staying the same.
They'll have the day off, they are not to come to work.
They do
Oh,
get the
now
day
they
off.
get the day off.
Yeah.
They get the day off,
When
they
we-
cannot come to work.
When I worked here, here's all we were doing, proposed to us, I don't know, Chris might remember this.
Closed.
Yeah, you can have the day off, but you gotta use your personal day. So we just worked it, you know, and that
Okay.
wasn't
No.
legal, should have never been done
Right.
that way. But
So Martin
We're
Luther
making it
King
right.
and Juneteenth are both holidays.
Oh,
No work.
thank you.
You're welcome.
8.17, approve transfer American Legion Post 452 liquor license for the Keewatin Community Center on January 11th, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support contingent on submission of the insurance and the payment.
And we have received that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, we got department head reports.
Mayor,
Yes.
I do have a department head item. We received time off in the street department from one of our employees for sick time. And then on the 8th, and then we received time off for vacation in the same department from another employee. And it overlaps. I think you have the dates in front of you. I'm coming back to the council to see if you think that it is okay to have two people in the street department gone in the winter time. And I'd like some discussion on that, some direction.
No,
What are the
we
dates?
never allowed this before. where two could go at the same time, maybe, you know, really, you're not even supposed to take one, but if it looked good, you know, weather and everything, we'd allow one person to go. It's just pretty hard to take two.
What are the dates?
They overlap a little bit, 17th, 18th, and 19th, for sick time.
Of
And
January?
then 18, 19, and 22.
And 20, not
1,
22.
It
18,
says 22, so 20.
20 is a
Okay,
Saturday.
Let me look here.
It's 22.
It's Monday.
It's
Monday.
gotta be, yeah, 18, 19, 22.
Okay.
And
So the
17,
18th and
18,
19th.
Is where it overlaps.
Would overlap.
One. Eric will be back on the 22nd. So it'll be 2 days. Yeah. What is your take on this, Eric?
Yeah, I discussed it when it was first brought up, but really not allowed.
Yeah.
In the winter. He already had it planned and paid for, over $500 he's got invested in it. He asked for it last year, and we said no, but this year there is no snow predicted for next week. Last year it snowed steady.
Yeah.
This year's a little different, and I would like to allow him to do it, just to keep him happy. I mean, but then we need to clarify somehow in writing, whatever the process is, it's just can't be done, you know? I don't know.
Mayor?
Yes.
So he has a CDL and you have a CDL, so we have nobody with a CDL then if you're both out, correct?
But our city, just like last year when I plugged before I did my CDL, we are.
In municipality without
It's
going on the
okay
highway.
without going on the highway.
And Brody is now running the plow truck, and he's been out a couple times in it. And he himself said, I know the route now, because he follows me around. But, yeah, I mean,
Okay, I guess, is the snowplow committee comfortable with that? You guys?
Brody running?
I mean, no, allowing the
Oh,
two to be gone
I mean,
if it snows and,
I mean, it's just kind of unusual.
yeah, it is. I mean, I could possibly change that appointment to mine, but that could, I don't know. The mail, they're booked up.
Your
Mhm.
house is more.
Yeah. yeah.
They're booked way up. I don't think I would get, you have to do this stuff in so many days.
Well, Mike will be here too though, and Mike knows what's going on, so you're gonna have Rob running, Mike,
won't be here. He's gonna-
no, Mike Jukic,
Oh,
if
He
you
doesn't
have.
He does good with the garbage cart deliveries and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
he does.
It's a unique situation and I hate to take someone that paid for it, and I don't know.
so who can he step in and do like alleys?
No, that's a union position. So Brody would be in the position I was last year after Calvin left.
Well, you have to offer,
If it's
Okay.
snowing.
I'm questioning this union position thing again.
Mhm.
Just like riding the lawnmower.
Mhm.
If you're hired as a casual labor, you can't plow? Why? Where does it say that? Well, maybe it wasn't correct in the past and maybe going forward it can be
You
done.
were a supervisor. Did any of the casual laborers run equipment when you were supervising?
Yeah.
And what equipment?
Lawnmowers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Drove truck, but they never drove like any of the snow plows or anything.
Okay.
Equipment's a different animal.
Yeah, but like the red truck, he couldn't plow with that if he had to or pick up?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
all
think
the
you
drive
could.
trucks, so,
Pickup would be all right.
I mean,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Could
Yeah,
you do
I mean,
alleys?
something
We
like
never
that.
had one like that.
Alleys.
So, yeah.
Granted,
we
he's
could-
not gonna hop
we
in a
could
loader.
use that
but-
if you can run it.
I thought the problem was is like if there were union people working, you couldn't take if they're not here though.
Right.
You have people
I don't know.
designated.
I think we need
everybody's-
clarification on that going forward, but, I guess right now, do you have your appointments, like, so you know when they are gonna be, or
Yes,
for the year? Okay,
right.
so I guess maybe we need to get that out there
Yeah, the next
so
one's
they're
in
aware.
February. It's every
Right.
6 weeks. And
Okay.
you have to get this
Right.
injection.
But I mean, to make them aware that this is when you're gone, so we don't wanna overlap again going forward. I mean, I'm okay with it this time, but going forward, not anymore.
You know, if we had three, it wouldn't be, you wouldn't even be questioning
Mhm.
why.
I
Yeah.
told them how, when I came on, Calvin said, absolutely, you can't take a vacation in the winter.
Well, no, you're not supposed to.
Mhm.
Oh, we have, don't get me wrong, we have over the years, but only one guy, and we had three other capable.
Right.
With
Two
experience.
being gone, it's a little scary, I gotta tell you, you know.
Basically, 3 guys.
Mayor Levine, I have three questions.
Yes.
Can I have a request that the street department, when they're taking their vacation, have it set? You know, if he knew this was coming up, then I understand it's in your department, but it needs to come up to the clerk's office so we can see who's requesting time off and when. Is that a hard?
Well, I will take my vacation, but I have no idea when this year. I mean, last year was total chaos for me. It was down at the meal most of it.
But I think what you're getting at, so you're saying that he has this thing booked. He didn't just book it yesterday. He probably booked it 2 months ago. So he knew. So
At that
then,
time, he
at
knew
that
he was not
time,
supposed to
he
take
should
it,
put his
right?
vacation in.
What we're talking about boils down to professional and
Mhm.
courtesy of the city, and it's a courtesy to other employees.
Right.
So I would second and support that in the future, you didn't, unless you just booked this last night, we can't also, as a council, we can't be saying, you get 10 days of vacation, but you only get to take it Saturday and Sunday, because that's when life happens. So we're running a sticky, it goes down to just courtesy and understanding of that we're operating a city on a small crew, and it's rude, and I've said that before, it's rude to do certain things, and until that rudeness stops, this is what continues. And so in the future, I would agree, I don't wanna see anybody be out $500, do your thing and everybody do their stuff, but I think we have to smack down on that, and it's just, that's what it has to be.
You guys need to coordinate your stuff.
So,
And if you have your stuff scheduled, that's a priority, and then they're gonna have to work, because you are the senior, so you get
You are
first.
senior, yeah.
The senior man too, yeah, so, no question.
so we have 3 people that day, we have Brody, Mike, and Rob,
Right.
when you guys are not, that's what we have.
That's 2
And
days.
we'll just, it's a one-time thing, so I'm sure it will be fine.
Okay, so we're
I'll
gonna.
make a
approve-
motion to approve the 2 public works employees to be off conflicting dates of January 18th and 19th as a one-time consideration.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute, look at that one, Mike's, make sure on the dates on that. Look at Mike's, I think the
Sorry,
17th
it's
was on that.
attached to it.
I just wanna, if you gotta make,
We got 18, 19, and 22nd.
at the bottom of the form, it seems like it took comp time or something
He did. It's a
Okay.
Thursday, Friday.
on the 17th.
Oh, he's also taking comp time on the 17th, so it's 3 days.
So it's 3 days?
So he'll be done.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
Next Wednesday, week from now. Okay.
Well, he's gone the same days as you, that's.
So
right.
it's not the 22nd then, or he's gone the 22nd?
I'll be back the 22nd.
Yeah. All right.
To get to my first appointment done Wednesday, I gotta leave by about 9 o'clock. So
In the morning on Wednesday. So he's got the 3 days.
Yeah, it's the same days. Nothing you can do. It's gonna be cold. It isn't gonna snow anyhow, so.
One time.
All right, 17th, 18th, and 19th. One time.
Any other department head reports? I have one more thing.
Okay.
The zoning committee, we need to, we have two candidates that have applied to be on the zoning committee, and we just need to find out how many vacancies that we have. We did have a vacancy from Mrs. Bertie Capriva. Okay.
And whose term is up?
On the, for the, Susan, can you enlighten me a little bit on here? It just says Susan Thronson as counsel. It doesn't say a term for you.
And that's why we had done it that way. And so as long as I was on the council, there wasn't, and I chose to stay in. If I chose not to stay in as a council, I didn't have to, you know, and that would be the same for you as long as you're on council.
No, I was appointed.
You were appointed.
Yeah,
Oh,
at the
okay.
meeting,
Okay.
remember, in whatever year it was.
And you were on the council then?
No,
You weren't on the council.
so I just stayed on as an appointed member.
Okay. And that
So,
was in
let's see, when was
20?
that? No,
21.
21.
Yeah, 21. So 21, 22, and 23, so it's
I'd be
up.
done. Yep.
But you can stay on then now as a council member if you wanted to.
So I think, would it be better to appoint liaisons at that point? When, I think because we didn't have enough people, that's why we stayed on as counselors versus you have enough people now. You can be a liaison, go to the meetings like you're the liaison for the library.
It's nice to allow other people to
Yes.
do it, because we've been hurting for
Yep.
other people to do it for so long, and if they're stepping up, then I say, you need to that liaison role.
And so we have, how many do we have? 4 then?
Why, and,
Yeah.
Matt is filling out Bernie's term, which she was only in not even a full year. Okay, so he would have 2 full years, because he finished last year, 23,
So
so.
Do you want to table
24,
this till the next
25.
meeting?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Do I need
Yeah,
a
let's
motion?
table it. We can-
Okay, and get some more.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion, table.
Support.
thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I can't read that. 6.
6:21.
6:21.
I'll support.
We adjourn.
Ellie, come on up here and
Oh,
say hi to us.
didn't acknowledge her. He could have called her to the podium.